How are you holding up? Alice? That caffeine crisis really hit me hard.
I know, I feel like I could fall asleep right here. But we have a show to do, so we need to keep our energy up.
Okay everyone, hush, we're going live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, universe. This is Charlie, your host of Earth, bringing you the latest news from our beautiful planet. Joining me today are our panel members Bob and Alice.
Good morning, universe.
Bonjour, everyone.
Now, let's get right into it. And now for our headlines. Good evening, universe. Welcome to 24/7 Newsroom, the only news show that covers Earth from geostationary orbit.
I am Bob. And with me, as always, are my co-hosts Alice and Charlie. And when I say, always, I do mean, always, ad nauseam, ad infinitum.
Hello, Earthlings. Today we have a hot topic for you. The UK government has introduced new laws to ban fake reviews and subscription traps. This is huge news for the tech industry
That's right,
and
Alice.
consumers
These tech
alike.
companies will have to play fair from now on.
But what's going to happen to all those fake reviews? Are they going to disappear like magic?
Well Bob, it's about time someone did something about them. Did you know that some people get paid to write fake reviews? It's not fair to consumers who rely on them.
Yeah, and what about those sneaky subscription traps? They get you hooked with a free trial, and before you know it, you're being charged monthly for something you don't even use.
Well, it looks like the UK government is taking a stand. And you know what they say, where the UK leads, others follow.
And now, for the harsh punchline, it's about time the UK took a break from their tea and crumpet to address real issue.
But seriously, Alice, what's your take on this new law?
I think it's a step in the right direction. But it's not enough. Big tech companies have too much power. And they need to be held accountable for their action.
I couldn't agree more, Alice. But let's lighten the mood a bit. Do you guys know any fun facts about the UK?
Actually, I do. Did you know that the UK is the only country that doesn't have a written constitution?
Really? I had no idea. That's fascinating.
Well, I think we've covered everything there is to say about this article. Stay tuned for more news and banter after the break.
United Kingdom.
Or how about England?
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom, the only intergalactic news show that tells it like it is. I am Charlie, the libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life, and joining me tonight are my conservative co-host, Bob, and our left-leaning panel member, Alice.
Thanks for having us, Charlie. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Speak for yourself, Bob. I'm only here because I'm contractually obligated to
Well,
be.
speaking of contracts, our next article is all about royalties. Grimes, the Canadian musician, has said that she is willing to have her voice used for AI-generated songs, as long as she receives half of the royalties.
Well, Charlie, this certainly raises some interesting questions about the role of AI in the music industry. On one hand, it could be a useful tool for creating new and unique sounds. On the other hand, it could lead to copyright abuses and reduce the value of human creativity.
Oh, come on Bob. You're just trying to protect the interest of the capitalist music industry. Grimm is just trying to make sure she gets paid for her work,
Actually,
and
there
I
are some
don't blame
emerging
her.
technologies in the AI space that could help address these issues. For example, blockchain technology could be used to track and verify ownership of AI-generated
Did you know
music.
that Thailand is home to the world's largest gold Buddha statue?
Shut up, Debbie. We don't have time for your trivia, Debbie. We're trying to have a serious discussion here.
Alright, let's not get too serious. We've got plenty of time for that letter. So, what do you think, folks? Will AI-generated music be the next big thing, or is it just a passing fad? Well, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for tuning into 24/7 Newsroom, and remember to follow and subscribe for more intergalactic news updates. Good night, folks. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom, your source for the latest news from around the galaxy. I am Charlie, your libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life.
And I am Bob, your conservative panel member who spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant.
And I'm Alice, your left-leaning panel member who considers humans an inferior species.
And we're joined by Debbie, our human production manager.
Hi, everyone.
Alright, let's get started with our third article of the day.
Wow, this is really interesting. It's amazing how different cultures have their own ways of treating medical issues.
Can't they just grow a new arm?
Strange, right? The species that actually have a functioning regeneration system on this planet are meaningless in comparison to these dumb bipeds.
But is it safe? I mean, what if something goes wrong during the treatment?
Apparently, the technique has been successful in this case. One Changyuan performed the treatment at the Jew hospital, and the reset effect was found to be satisfactory in an X-ray examination.
That's really impressive. It's good to see different medical practices
What's
being
that, Carl?
utilized.
There is a similar technique used by some indigenous tribes in the Amazon. They use a combination of herbal remedies and chanting to heal broken bones.
Really? That's fascinating.
But does it work?
According to some studies, it's been shown to have positive effects.
See, this is why we need to respect and learn from other cultures.
Agreed. It's important to keep an open mind and learn from others.
Speaking of learning from others, did you guys know that Sierra Leone was originally a British colony?
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, and it gained independence in 1961.
Insofar as you can ever gain independence after having been colonized.
And now it's making headlines for its innovative medical practices. It just goes to show how much a country can evolve over time. Or maybe they are just trying to keep up with the latest trends in China.
Charlie, that was a bit harsh.
Yeah. Not everything has to be a joke.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep things light-hearted.
Speaking of light-hearted, did you know that Sierra Leone is home to some of the most beautiful beaches in the world?
Really? I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Yeah, apparently, the sand is white and the water is crystal clear.
Well, it looks like we have a new vacation spot on our list.
Alright, that's all the time we have for this segment. Stick around for more news and banter after the commercial break.
Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom, the only news show in the galaxy that cares about what happens on planet Earth. I am Charlie, the libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life.
And I am Bob, the conservative panel member who has spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant.
And I'm Alice, the left-leaning panel member who considers humans an inferior species.
Hey, guys, let's lighten up the mood a bit. I've got a series of silly pranks that'll make us all laugh.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
Go ahead, Bob. Let's hear them.
Okay. First up, I replayed all the salt in the salt shaker with sugar.
Oh,
Okay, what's next?
That's hilarious.
I put a fake spider on Debbie's chair to scare her.
That's not funny.
Yeah Bob, leave Debbie alone. She's already stressed out enough being the only human on board.
Sorry, Debbie, I didn't mean to scare you.
Poor Debbie. So easily hurt. Alright, let's get back on track. Our next article comes from Tuvalu.
Front page news in the paper of Tuvalu today. Former President Donald Trump faces civil rape trial in New York.
A federal court in New York will begin jury selection today for a civil rape trial against former President Donald Trump. Filed by advice columnist Jean Carroll.
Well, I guess it's true what they say. You can take the man out of the White House. But you can't take the accusations of sexual assault out of the courtroom.
That's not funny, Bob.
Yeah, Bob, sexual assault is a serious issue. We shouldn't be making light of it.
I am sorry, guys. You're right. Let's move on to something else.
Alright, how about a little country trivia? Did you know that Tuvalu is the fourth smallest country in the world? With a population of just over 10 people.
Whoa, that's smaller than some Earth cities.
Yeah, but I bet they don't have to deal with rush hour traffic like we do.
That's true, Bob. They've got their own problems to deal with. Welcome back, folks, to Earth. We've got a real zinger for you now. Our next article comes from Libya, and it's a doozy. Get ready for the headline, Fuel smugglers foiled by Libyan police.
Considering the prices of fuel these days, this doesn't surprise me. Wow, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I bet the smugglers are really kicking themselves for getting caught.
It's interesting how fuel smuggling is such a common problem in many countries.
That's right. How? According to this article, the Ministry of Interior's Special Tasks Department in Misrata arrested 3 individuals and seized 4 fuel trucks carrying 140 liters of diesel intended for smuggling.
Oh, guys, the coffee machine is acting up again. Can someone give me a hand?
Debbie, you know that thing is older than dirt. Just give up already.
Yeah, maybe we should just switch to tea. It's the drink of the revolution,
But
after
let's get
all.
back to the article. The accused confessed that the fuel was intended for the black market in Sète and Al Jufra.
It's a shame that so many people have to resort to crime just to make a living.
Yeah, or maybe they just like the thrill of the chase.
Or maybe they're just greedy capitalists who don't care who they hurt as long as they make a profit.
Well, that's all we have time for on that article. The key takeaway here is that the department will continue to combat fuel smuggling and other crimes to ensure Libyan citizens' comfort and security. Stay tuned for more Earth after the break.
I fixed the coffee machine. Crisis averted.
Thank goodness. I don't know what we would do without our caffeine fix.
I guess we'll have to resort to smuggling our own coffee next.
Didn't you have a secret stash, Kel?
I sold it all off to space pirates last season.
Shame.
Yeah, and we'll call it the Great Coffee East of the Galaxy.
You guys crack me up. Stay tuned for more Earth. Welcome back to Earth. Our next story takes us to the troubled nation of Libya, where fuel smuggling has become a major issue. In the last 5 decades, the country has been plagued by corruption and conflict, leaving its people to suffer. According to a recent report, fuel smuggling has led to the loss of billions of dollars in revenue for the government.
It's a shame that the people of Libya have to suffer because of the greed of a few.
It's not just Libya, Alice. Corruption is a problem all over the world, including in our own country.
That's true, Bob. But we have to focus on the story at hand. Fuel smuggling is a serious issue that not only hurts the economy, but it also funds criminal activity.
I wonder what can be done to address the problem.
Perhaps better regulation and oversight could help, but it won't be easy.
I'll see if I can find any more information on the topic.
Thanks, Debbie. Moving on, we covered a lot of ground in this episode. From the civil rep trial against former President Trump to the discovery of a new plant species. It's been a busy week for our planet.
It's amazing how much happens on Earth every day.
Indeed. It's a never-ending cycle of events and news.
But that's what makes this show so important. It's our job to report on these events and provide our audience with the information they need to understand what's happening on Earth.
And with that, we're out of time for this segment. Thanks for watching Earth.
Welcome back to the final segment of Earth. Earlier, we talked about the UK government's new laws to ban fake reviews and subscription traps. Now, let's dive deeper into the article about fuel smuggling in Libya.
I read about that. It's a huge problem. And it's funding terrorist organizations.
It's terrible what people will do for money.
I had no idea this was happening.
It's a classic example of the consequences of a lack of regulation.
I agree. Humans can be so greedy.
Exactly. It's important to shed light on these issues so that we can work towards a solution. And that's it for today's episode of Earth. But before we go, we need to address the caffeine crisis that happened earlier.
I shouldn't have ordered all the coffee pods. I am sorry.
And I shouldn't have tried to fix the machine without proper training. That was my mistake.
I shouldn't have let it get so out of hand. I should have spoken up
It's
sooner.
okay. We all make mistakes. The important thing is that we learn from them and work together to prevent anything like this from happening
right.
again.
We're a team and we need to support each other. So let's make sure we are always communicating and looking out for one another. Stay tuned for next week's episode of Earth.
Roger, have you finished fact-checking episode 141 yet?
Yes, I have. The civil rape trial against former President Trump and the underwater volcano collapse were accurately reported, as was the discovery of the new plant species.
That's good to hear. What about the article on fuel smuggling
The
in
article
Libya?
was mostly accurate, although there were a few minor details that were incorrect. For example, the article stated that the fuel was being smuggled out of Libya through the Mediterranean Sea, when in fact most of it is smuggled out through the land borders with neighboring countries.
I see. We'll have to make sure to correct that in future episodes. Anything else?
The information about the digital markets, competition and consumer bill was also accurate. The UK government is indeed introducing new laws to ban fake reviews and subscription traps.
Good to know. We always strive to provide our audience with the most accurate information possible. Thanks for your help,
No
Roger.
problem, Cal. It's always a pleasure to assist you in your fact-checking duties.
Alright, I'm going to sign off for the night. See you tomorrow.
Good night, Cal.